I would like to start with talking about the origin of the film. I understand you met João working on your short. Before this, he was an actor in the short. But what made you want to make a film about his life?
Well, that's a kind of a long story, but I try to make it quickly. I met Ron, as you said, when I was in the film school in Porto Alegre, uh, doing my last short film. And when I met him, my first impression, I was really shocked for his acting and his energy during the shooting or in the scene, and I thought, wow, it could be interesting, make a film about an actor or for an actor. This was the very beginning, and after that became, I don't know, changing for something. I was thinking about, about fiction and about how fiction is in our routine every day, and it's quite of, it's not a new idea, but it's, Young are Young wrote about this, about how fiction, it's, like, are ruling our lives, and about Diamond, and I was thinking about this for a long time, and Castanha, of course, João, of course, he's all the time in the fiction because he's working in the play every day and in the gay nightclubs, and changing the characters, changing the roles every day. And that was the second idea, the idea about, mixing fiction and reality, and I think it's important because for me, I'm thinking still now about this how for me it's too absurd, the life, being here in New York showing the film is it's just absurd, and I like this idea. I like this feeling. I like this weird, this weird feeling of waking up in a weird city and doing absurd things, showing a film, and João, he has the same energy, going work every night in outsider places, and changing his characters every night. He actually every night he does a different show, with a different costume, with a different makeup, and that's interesting because he's always changing. And that's the main idea, this weird idea about fiction and reality and characters and routine. That's how we came.
But you didn't know his mother at that point, and she's really a huge part of the film. And I'm wondering about her participation in the project because she seems such a natural in front of the camera, but I imagine she doesn't have the career of performance that João has. So if you could talk a little bit about her participation.
During the pre-production of the film, actually it was difficult because I was a little bit scared of how she, I don't know, will deal with the camera and the crew in their house every day, and I was a little bit scared of this idea. But I during the pre-production and during the script development, I went there in their house like 1,000 times, just for a cup of coffee or whatever, just to talk a little bit, and I started to think, she could be okay with the camera because she's so natural and she talks a lot every time, and I went there one time with a camera, a small camera, and I just asked her, Selena, I don't know, I went, doing some tests here, it's okay for you? And she, sure, come on, Davi, please, feel free. and I was could be interesting. And actually she was incredible during the test, and I was there for like I don't know 4 hours shooting, and actually became the teaser, the teaser of the project for submitting for the fund that we won. This test became this, and she was incredible, and I realized, okay, she's actor, she's actress, and
Runs in the family.
yeah, and I think that's important also to say, because I think, for example, my mom is in the film. My mom, that's important. My mom is the neighbor that's in the scene yelling with Selena. That's my mom. Yeah, and because I believe that this actor and actress thing. I think I don't know, anyone could be a can be an actor or actress. The result could be weird, could be bad or good, but anyone can act. It's simple actually, and I like this idea because there's a lot of non actors in the film. There's a lot. I think there's just I don't know 3 real actors in the film. But they are not acting. They're just being themselves, and so that's the other part of the film that I like. Put the real actors for doing nothing. Just stay there. Just talk. That's interesting for me. This weird kind of process. Ask for weird things for the real actor, that expecting that you write a scene for him, and but you don't, and he just got why I'm doing this, I'm just here talking about nothing. That's interesting for me also.
Well, I'm curious how you structured the shooting and how you guided the process, because like you're just saying, you had actors there, but you didn't necessarily have them do anything. But then how did you guide somebody like Selena, who doesn't have any experience with working on a film? And I imagine that you blocked out shots beforehand, but you must have improvised a lot, just that you had no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's fun. I think during the process, it's all the time scared, because you're afraid that the film could be just a disaster. But I like the idea of the failure, so I'm totally okay of doing weird stuffs and ask the people for just doing nothing in front of the camera, or as for my mom, yelling for no reason, for something that she never she never passed it through. And I like this idea of test anything, and I think this is important to get something different, or to you have to take risks to go, I don't know, to somewhere. But at the same time, is the process, it was pretty normal, and speaking now could be, I don't know, could sound amazing, but actually the process, it was pretty normal, and the film crew, it was so small, and like a family. So during the shooting, I don't know, the most part of the shooting, just look at that, I don't know, a pretty normal film, like a documentary or something. But actually for me and for the producers, or for the editor of the film, we were thinking about the result. The other part of the film, the film crew, it was just understanding nothing about the result, or the script, because the script is just weird.
But it made sense to you.
What?
It made sense to you
Yeah.
while you were working on it.
I think it is.
Do we have any questions, the audience?
The movie opens up with a shot of a naked man running down the street, covered in blood. Who was he and what did he have to do with the film?
Did everybody hear the question? The opening shot in the film is a naked man running. He's bloody. Who is he, and what does he have to do with the film?
Well, he's João, the same person, the same. The same, yes, he's Castanha, the same lead actor of the film, and the same person. And actually, one guy in one interview asked me a question, and I really loved his interpretation about the scene, and now I'm using. You know? He said that that scene is just a movie that Castanha is shooting in the film. So that's it. That's incredible. And actually, it's true because it's a film, and he was shooting with me, and actually it's just what happened, but yeah, it's just João, walking naked, and I think for me represents a lot of things that I try to put in the film. And like the fear of being alone, or the fear of the death, and the fear of being hunted by the past, or the fear of AIDS. And there's a lot of things that I think that I try to put in that opening scene, that I think is that I don't know, it's kind of a ghost for the scene, the other scenes that come after. And yeah, that's it. I don't know if did I answer your question? Kind of.
Any other questions? I wanted to ask about, it seems that you show a lot of sides of Porto Alegre in the city that aren't traditionally shown. You have like the gay underground scene, you have the health clinic that Selena goes to, you have the kind of religious rituals that he does with the Pai de Santo. So I was wondering if this was an intention of yours approaching the project, and João's as well, to show a side of the city and Brazilian culture that doesn't typically make it to cinema.
Yeah. Actually, that's the part that's more important for me about, I don't know, being a director or a filmmaker, because all the time when I go to a city, I said to you outside, I just walk, for no reason and no direction. I like this idea. I like this idea to find, outsider places, and places that there's not a lot of people, or places that are dying, or that are being punishing out for the town or something. And I like this idea because Porto Alegre, my city where I live, there's a lot of these places, and all the places that actually João is working and where João is living every day, all these places are outsider places, and that's fascinating for me. That's fascinating, and I like this idea of. I think Wim Wenders said one time. I don't know. Probably could be Wim Wenders. He said that the important of make a film is point the camera, is to shoot for a place that anyone is looking. Not where everyone is looking, It's important to look in a different perspective, and it's important to look for people that are not being seen, and for me, these places like the gay nightclubs, or also the theater, that there's a lot of theaters in the film, that there also is a kind of small theaters in Porto Alegre. I like how it feels, how it can express a lot of things from my town in, I don't know, just in one take. And I don't know if really can in the film express something, but that's what I tried to try to, I don't know, to to make this, I don't know, eternal and or something. I don't know. I like this idea to yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Oh, go ahead.
It seems like João's job as at the nightclub is much more present in the film than his job as the actor. Why is that? Is that how his life really is, or it's your choice?
Yeah, actually, actually is important. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, in the script, had more scenes in, I don't know, in films or in theaters or in plays, or, but actually that's how his life is, it's doing, you know, now, because he's a famous actor in my city, but at the same time he's not working a lot as actor, and for many reasons. For example, because we don't have a lot of financing opportunities in my city to shoot or to make a play, and but at the same time because he's not a kind of actor that the people like to use, you know. He don't has this, you know, great looking, and you know, it's different for Brazilian. I don't know, it's probably just is something that came from television, because in Brazil we have this, you know, this really difference between the television and the cinema, and in the television like make the rules for everything, the rules that how the actors should be or should look. And Castanha João, he just, you know, he's small and he speak different, and I think that's could be the reason that, you know, he just don't work a lot. I don't know, but he's incredible. There's a lot of people that actually love him, but I don't know, and that's why there's not a lot of things in the film or in plays.
Is there anything that was in the script or that you shot that you wanted to include but ended up not including because it didn't fit in, or you just didn't have the resources to explore it, or was every initial idea, did it make it in some form or another?
Actually, I'm trying to remember. Actually, there's, I think the most part of the script are in the film still. But I don't know. I think there's just maybe 2 scenes that left from the final cut. I don't know. I don't remember actually. But I remember one scene that we tried to shoot, but the scene that I wrote, it's a raining scene that it's weird. It's a raining day that, and João is in the car with a friend, and she's driving, and I don't know, happening something weird like a bird just, you know, knocking, not it's not, it's just, yeah, like hitting the car, and it's totally something that João told me that happened with him someday, and I like it, this idea of like a terror horror scene in rain, and we tried to shoot, but it was impossible because during the shooting never rain, and we just gave up. So okay, I don't need that scene.
What was the significance of the scene with the mother when she was standing in the hall all bloody?
Actually, that scene came up because João told me during the pre-production and during the script development that since I don't know, like 5 years ago, he started to think like every night about what he had to do when Selena, you know, die. And he told me this, and I got, wow, that's because, you know, the father, he doesn't have a relationship with with his father, and his sister, actually this sister is not in the film, but he has another sister that lives in Switzerland, and he also doesn't have a relationship with her, so his only link with his family is with Selena. And when he told me this, I got impressed with this feeling of every night, you know, thinking about your mom dying and being alone, totally alone, and like a ghost, you know, in your apartment every night. And that's how became the idea.
It was the part which I understood as a personal first-person narrative when he talks about his love for film and how he
Yeah.
used to watch so many. Um, when when that part came up, I thought that there will be more of those first-person segments, but that never came again. So after that, he became again this actor that we're looking at as a side viewer. Was that a choice or?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think this is this was in the script also. I don't remember, but the idea was, you know, give to the audience the feeling of João was, you know, he were rehearsing a play that you don't understand in the beginning what it is, and could be, I don't know, a normal play or a normal job, but the idea in the script, and actually that actually existing still in the film, is that you know, during the film, during the scenes, you can understand a little bit more, and you can realize in the end that actually is his play that he wrote that appear in the film, in the ending of the film, the end of the film. And actually that's a true story that he told me also. He's writing this play like since, I don't know, 4 years ago. He's trying to write, and he's planning to show this play, I don't know, next year. And I don't know if you understood, but this play that appear in the end of the film is about his life also, and that's interesting for me. That was interesting for me because I thought, you know, he's living something, and he's remember all the time. He's remember about the people that he lost, and thinking about losing his mother, and writing about about his life. And you know, it's like a circle, and I thought it's incredible because you're living this, and in different layers and in different times. You're living the past and the future, because he's thinking about when and when Selena is dying, when Selena died, but also he's living in the past when his lover died, and you know, and he's writing about this, and that's fiction, because the past is fiction, because it don't exist anymore. You know, it's just something, and in the future also. And well, that's absurd, but you know, and that's a subject that it's really important for me, because because there's a lot of layers, and it's wow.
There was a question back there. Yeah.
I was just wondering if there's a couple of points in the film where you use television news broadcasts, and you talk about the past and the future, but also, as well as being film very much in its place, those seem to anchor it very much in its time. And I was wondering, as we're kind of thinking of Brazil and World Cup and Olympics, and it struck me on your comments about this idea of looking to where anyone could look rather than everybody is going to look. Is there something important in this? I don't want to give your film all the responsibilities for representing your country or your location, but there's something important in showing something on a screen that isn't journalism or spectacle or sport. That.
Yeah.
I think there was a question mark.
And actually it's incredible because it's also very important for me, and also this is there's a lot of different layers about this, because João has this very personal opinion about the situation of Brazil that's different from my opinion, but at the same time I can understand his opinion about the situation, about homophobia and racist and the different of classes in Brazil and the World Cup and the government. There's a lot of layers, and he has this opinion, his personal opinion. But when I put the channel during that day in the shooting, when I put in the protests, with the demonstrators in the street, I thought that would be interesting to show this, how distant João is from that situation, because it was happening, at the same time, in the same day, in my city, when we were shooting, and the people were, fighting for a subject that is totally related with João, but at the same time he's just at home, and sometimes he just doesn't care, but also he has this energy to keep working that for me is incredible and very political. And there's a lot of layers and different kinds of perspectives about the same subject and about being political. You can be political, at your home or at your work, and for other person you can be alienated, and that's interesting for me also, because when I was more young, I know that I'm young, but when I was more young, I was more, rebel. That's rebel. Yeah, rebellious. Yeah. And I was thinking, I have to do something. I have to, I don't know, And now I'm more like individualist, and I like to be at home with my wife and doing nothing, because life is too absurd. And I like these layers. I like these different kinds of perspectives, and that was, I don't know how, the idea for put that channel in the scene.
Well, he seems to channel his frustration into his performances.
Yeah.
To me, because like the last one in the credits, he's doing a political act
Yeah,
by making
yeah.
fun of the gay cure,
Yeah,
which was happening
exactly.
in Brazil at that time.
Exactly. And that's funny because during the shooting he was watching TV at home, and he was saying to me, this Marco Feliciano, it was the guy from the government that tried to create this gay cure, like a law in Brazil that all the homosexual should be cured because they are homosexual. Yeah, and but he doesn't got the law. But during the shooting, he was trying, and João he was saying all the time, "Oh, he should do this because we are faggot and because he's always making jokes about the situation, but at the same time looks truth what he's saying. But if you pay attention for a little bit, you can understand that that's maybe a way that he found to deal with the situation for
It's
a long
provoking.
time. Yeah, and at the same time, in the day that he made the show with his costume about a priest or as I forgot the word for English and also in Portuguese. The nun. Yes, nun. Yes, thank you. And I got surprised, because you were thinking about this. I knew it, and it was important for him, and that's again, it's just different ways to approach the things, and that's incredible because that's life, You have to protect a lot of different ways. You have to have a chance to change your ways to deal with the things and the problems.
So I think just time for one final question. Yep.
Did he like the film? Yeah.
Actually, the first time that he saw the film, it was in our world premiere in Berlinale. So it was really amazing and emotional and difficult because imagine a crowded theater and I don't know 400 people watching the film and he in the middle of the theater like, oh my god. But it was incredible. He cried in the Q&A during the screening and after the screening. But I don't know, João, you never know, and that's incredible because you never know, and if you know something about the person like totally, it's just get bored, But he said that he loved the film, so.
All right, well, thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you all.